The Torah teaches you how to live. In fact, the word Torah does not mean book, does not mean knowledge, does not mean Bible. Torah means directive. It comes from the word to teach.
It's a book that's over 3,000 years old, and it's still a bestseller. It tells you how to make the most out of life. And it says again and again that these laws are latov lach. They are for your good.
There's some mystery in the world. There's something beyond the physical and the corporeal. There's something beyond that which can be explained or tackled or understood by science. That's what Torah addresses itself to make you conscious of another dimension of life that otherwise gets lost in the traffic of everyday existence.
It's really the rituals of Judaism that has kept us intact. It's impossible really to be almost a spiritual Jew. It just doesn't work. It's the rituals together with the spirituality that gives us the lasting ability to last as Jews.
And after all, if the Torah says that God put Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden to not only use it, but to guard it, then it seems like a natural extension to say that we have a continuing obligation to guard God's creation on earth.
There's a reason that God created with words. In Genesis it says God said, and it was. He didn't create with explosions, with actions. Words are used, language is used, letters are used. Letters have origins of great power, of great force. Each letter, the shape of the letter, the sound of the letter, the content of what word that letter makes up, all contain energies and forces that are alive.
Aside from the 3 million Jews that stood at Sinai, the souls of any Jew that would ever be born throughout all the generations, we were there as well. And you proclaim, together with all the rest of them, Na'aseh v'nishma, we will do and we will try to understand. We made a vow. We stood together, you and I. It wasn't just the scholars, the rabbis, the learned folk, the 3 million Jews who had witnessed the 10 plagues, the splitting of the sea, and now they were at Revelation. It wasn't just those people. The Torah that was given to us at Har Sinai at that time is our Torah. It's yours and it's mine.
When God was about to give the Torah, he went to all the nations of the world and asked them, would you accept the Torah? And each one found fault with it. What's written in the Torah, thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not commit adultery, we can't accept that. When he came to the Jews were reputed to have said, we will do and we will understand. We'll study it because we have faith. We weren't chosen because we were better. We were chosen because we chose, because we found God. It's not that God found us.
Torah has an extraordinary power beyond the information that it contains. There's 4 levels of Torah. The first letter, Pei, which means the simple interpretation of the text. When you read the text of the Torah, everything as it states, the flood, the creation, the snake, the verse does not leave its literal meaning, it's the literal understanding. Then comes Remez, allusions, signs, numerical values, number integrations, gematria, words that indicate other realities. Then comes drush. Drush is homiletics, which is expansiveness of information. What's behind the story? What happened around that event? And then there is what's called the mystery, sot, secrets, which include the Kabbalah, the soul of the Torah, the illumination of the Torah. The Kabbalah is referred to as oil, which has its own intensity. The writing instrument is a quill from a bird. because you retain all natural elements. Nothing is steel. The ink is made from plants. But the parchment is not papyrus. It's existing leather hide that is cut in a very special way and treated in a very special way.
I would like my children to be brought up in teachings of the Torah, to learn from it, to have what I didn't have. I didn't have God in my life.
One phone call to each of the guys, and everyone always ends up wanting to come. There's always that little spark inside of everyone. It always gets a little bit bigger and bigger.
During the day, I'm putting quotes together, I'm taking phone calls, I've got to go on trips. And when you come to something like this, you start focusing on things that are more substantial, more real in your life.
I see that we're really living by a law that was given to us over 3,300 years ago. It's all because of the class that I understand now the sequence and time of when everything occurred.
At that point, I said, I have to make time for Torah study. However I can try to make that happen, I have to make it happen.
My children, they know who Abraham is, and then what happened with Isaac and Moses, and they understand the Torah. They then understand what Judaism is about, and that is what it's a connection between a father and a child.
I always had Torah in my life, but I always knew that the Torah is something to hold on to. And it helps me teach my kids and educate them and show them the right way.
We're more involved as a family, and I've benefited from it on a personal level, on a family level, and a spiritual level.
Maybe 15 years I was away from the Torah, and I think you don't see it impact you until you come back to it. Once you come back to the Torah, you see the difference in your life.
It really gave me the strength to focus and just give me the energy to keep on going.
It gives me such joy and such pleasure to be able to be what I am and to realize this is what I am. This is my essence, this is my soul.
Today, it's very critical that all Jewish women really understand and know the laws of the Torah so that we can imbue in our children a sense of holiness, a sense of honesty, a sense of integrity. If the mother understands what life is all about, she can then pass that on to the next generation.
The first thing that the father's obligated to teach a child, when the child starts to say father, the word Torah was given to us by Moses, commanded by Hashem.
It not only teaches you how to live, but unites generations and gives us our sense of continuity.
The Jew always emphasized education. That's really one of our very, very special qualities, that Jews were always more literate, secularly and religiously.
At milestone points in a person's life. Bar mitzvah, you go up to the Torah. When you get married, you go up to the Torah. When you name your baby little girl, you go up to the Torah. When you have a bris, you go up to the Torah. The Torah becomes like the central connecting force for everything that is significantly Jewish in a person's Jewish life.
The Torah is a manual for life, contributing to a higher level of critical analysis and understanding, and raising the human mind to a more sophisticated level of perception. The Torah is different than other theological texts. It addresses legal matters in tort, evidence, acquisition, marriage, divorce, and every other aspect of life one can imagine. The finest jurists in our country have studied the Talmud, which gives the ability to see things more clearly, more fundamentally, and from a pure sense of ethics.
That was a Holocaust Torah. When I find that another one's uncovered, it says, Hitler couldn't destroy us, and that we are stronger than we were before the Holocaust. There is a resurrection. Life again. Never dies. Just gets hidden, but never dies. Children and grandchildren of the Holocaust survivors are saying we're coming back to it. We want this Jewishness. We love this Jewishness. We're going to teach it to our children. And suddenly they feel something that they haven't felt in 40, 50 years. That warmth, that connection, that submission to God, that acceptance, which is so wonderful.
bigger and bigger. Every week, more people and more people come. Usually it's standing room only. It's fantastic. His words are powerful. He explains things in a way that anybody can understand and everybody can relate to it.
The reason they come back, and it's so fascinating and important to them, they say every time you're teaching, it sounds like you're talking to me. It becomes so relevant to their lives. They want to hear it. They want to know how to be a happier person, a more accomplished person, more balanced. They want to be more successful because they realize that there's a purpose in life. When they listen to Torah approaches, and it makes so much sense, and then during that week they put some of it into practice and they saw that it worked, they're coming back for more.
I believe there's a reawakening, a kind of religious reawakening going on in America now that has happened in our history in the past and has always contributed to the founding of America.
Life can be a fairly difficult maze, and the world can be an impossible to get through jungle if you don't have some kind of roadmap to help steer your course, to help chart your direction. That's what the Torah does.
The world didn't begin with your birth, and it won't end with your death. That it was there before, and it will be there later. And these traditions are what carries the continuity from before your birth to after you've left, and will be with your children and children's children forever.
In order for a Jew to be able to live a fruitful, productive, quality life, they need to look into the source of life. The source of life is the Torah.
After a while, you all go back to the basics because it works. This thing has been hanging on for all these years and continues to produce the best people that are giving the most significant participations to civilization. Their fathers and grandfathers were connected to Jewishness and to Torah. People keep coming back for what works.
Der Eibischter hat gegeben Teire zu Jiden, hat gesagt zu Moshe Rabbeinu, als soll roggen von Har und soll stehen zwischen Jiden und alle Shishim Ribun Israel, sollen alle zusammen hören bebas Achas, der Allah Seres Adibris, wo sie seinen Kehlel, Kol Hatero Kula, hatten das gegeben bebas Achas zu jeder Jiden und alle Jiden bis den Poschetsche Pschutin. Und noch mehr ist dann noch geworden von der Ikerdicke Mitzvahs, der Linie von Talmud Torah, gleich wie ein Kind hebt ohne Reden. Ich schein wie im Land der Torah und sagt ihm, als lernt mit dem Torah, lädt sein Vernehmen, darf aber wissen sein, was ist im Land der Torah, Ziva, Lon und Meshe, wie Rosh Kehilas Yankiv, das kommt bei Yerusha zu jedem, was gehört Kehilas Yankiv.